Hello and welcome to the SIS Podcast. I'm Francis.
I'm
Here with
Jake.
He's introing himself
I am.
today.
Oh, sorry. No, I'll let you do it.
No, you already done it. All right.
Fuck.
And today we're here with JP. He's a musician, writer, producer, teacher, father. I don't know. He's and getting into the world of like video production, editing, YouTube, all that sort of algorithm diving sort of stuff. He's a wealth of knowledge. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, Bess.
Yeah.
Great to be here.
Yeah. Nice and close.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, thanks.
So you just released Patience Way. How long had that album been in production for? Because it's number 3 for Arrows.
Yeah, third album,
Yeah.
and also there was an EP ahead of that as well.
Yeah.
And you can actually only hear 2 of my records on Spotify. I've actually hidden the other 2 away, so on
Yeah.
Bandcamp.
Yeah.
So, and they're free. Like you can have them
If you want.
if you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Patience Way was about a year and a half in the making. Kind of did the same thing with Patience Way that I'm actually doing with the next one. I basically had it half written by the time I released Light Years.
Yeah.
And that's just because it takes so long to organize stuff with albums to release them if you want to try and release them with like videos and stuff. So yeah, it took about a year and a half, and then I'd finished it,
Right.
and then the next thing that happened was I released it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we're done.
that was
That's
before,
the whole
and
process.
now we're not that anymore.
Yeah, dude, let's walk us through the production of it, because I find like your method of doing stuff interesting.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you didn't
the
want me to
super
continue
solo
talking
stuff.
like on the train of thought I was just talking about there?
Oh, is that what you were going for? Cool. Yeah, sweet. Let's go.
okay? All right. Starts with a dream. No. Stupid. Yeah, so I guess I just like get an idea. Often actually a lot of my ideas I will just sing it into my voice recorder. It's usually when I'm out doing something boring, like getting a haircut or I don't know. Something similar to getting a haircut, I guess. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something just mundane.
Yeah, mundane. Yeah. I was trying to think of something funny that I could say that's not like getting a haircut at all. But I couldn't think of anything.
Do you do it while getting a haircut?
No.
Okay.
No,
yeah,
there
all
can't
right.
be anyone else.
Cutting hair, and you're just like,
You just
spitting
play it
stuff
back.
into
You're
it.
like, yeah. Hey man, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
like but underneath, you know, they have like the curtain thing that goes underneath. She's just
Yeah.
like sitting there breathing into this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. This is going to be weird, but
Bear with me.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, so yeah, usually actually often will be at the car ride home, or yeah, just doing some mundane bullshit, and
Yep.
then I'll get like a guitar idea in my head or a vocal melody, and then it's like I've got some time to write a song, and it'll just be built around that. Actually, with Patience Way, it was a mix. It was like vocal melody, or it was a guitar idea, or it might have just been a vibe. Like there's a lot of ideas in my phone where it's just like like me trying to like sing everything that's happening in my head.
Yeah.
And it's I have to like translate that into music at a
Just
later
layer
date.
scat tracks onto scat tracks onto scat tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mean like scat like poo?
No.
Yes. Jazz scatting.
Somehow I tied that
yeah.
into skeletons now.
You're trying.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Just- yeah. Sorry, man. Just the visuals that have this is the rolling visuals today. All right.
And carry on.
Do we need to tell the audience about the
Yeah, fuck the audience. Just- Sorry.
yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, then it's just a case of guide vocals, guide guitar, and then I start the real tracking. Drums, guitar. So drums, rhythm guitar, bass, vocals, lead guitar, synths, details.
Yeah.
Finished song.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Because did you approach Patience Way with an intent, as far as like say from a production standpoint, where you wanted to dive in more in a certain direction than say you went with Light Years or previous ones before that? Like, because I know before you've kind of tried to challenge yourself in a new style or new techniques. Was there anything that you brought in this time, like consciously, that you wanted to work on?
I'm always just looking to improve. Yeah, I was just trying to make it sound better. It was drop A, so Patience Way was based around drop B, and it presented some challenges. But I feel like just finishing an album is kind of a thing now. It's actually like so much work for one person to do. But also I've kind of still got enthusiasm to do it. You know, I kind of get so excited to make songs still. So obviously it's still something that's worth doing for me.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, always just trying to improve. That's always been the main philosophy with this project is write better songs, sing better, play better drums, write cooler riffs, and I think it's always, and that's still what I'm trying to do. I'm still trying to sing better, still trying to play better drums. Yeah.
As far as on the drum side of it, because that's something that's definitely been step ups over the journey.
Yeah.
What did you do to try and improve that? Did you just practice? As far as practice your own style of playing so that you could then interpret that into programmed and stuff like that? Or did you just sort of take more particular note of what other artists are doing or what other drummers are doing? Or
I've got such a weird style. So I will write the song. I'll write a song with the drums, and I perform the drums on a drum kit.
Yeah, right.
On an electric kit. And then I will need to learn usually 1, 2, or 3 of them or whatever. So when I'm recording the drums, I'm comping them. Basically, I'll do 2 sections. I'll finish the song, but then I don't actually think about how to play those drums again, unless I need to learn it for a video clip.
Yeah.
And actually, the learning curve of learning how to play the songs that I wrote for a video clip pushes me forward as a drummer more.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Because you don't want to look like an awkward drummer on video.
Yeah. But also, what the hell was I playing?
Yeah.
Just basically what was that, Phil? What did I do that?
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking like a drummer when I wrote it. I was thinking like a composer who wanted to have cool drum fills here. This is gonna be a great drum fill to have here. And that's how I'm thinking. That's in producer mode, really. A little bit of drummer, but actually really just producer, trying to get a great sounding overall track if I can. And then when I'm coming back to it for future content for videos, that's when I'm thinking about it as a drummer. I've got to perform it, and when we're performing it, you want it to look good. You want to remember it all.
Yeah.
And that's when I realised that I've just screwed myself.
Yeah.
Right.
And you've written something unperformable or
like eminently performable for anyone else.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But you haven't given yourself 3 hands or anything like that.
No.
But I mean, I guess that's the way you get it with doing it on the e-kit. You know, you're not accidentally adding in stuff that's actually not possible to do.
It's a big part of why I do it that way.
Yeah.
And also velocity, when you're programming it in, you can compute velocity, but it's quite cool to actually get a proper performance in terms of the amount of energy that each individual hit gets. So
it's kind of like a way of getting an organicness to an inorganic instrument.
Exactly.
Because it's coming through a digital platform, but you're trying to capture some kind of performance to it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
No more needs to be said on that topic.
I'm not a drummer, but
if anyone's interested, I use GGD
yeah.
modern massive samples.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Ruined them probably with my mixing, but anyway.
Good job.
Because they're coming in, obviously they're not coming in processed, they're coming in as the raw samples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's not like any of the one-shot sort of stuff.
The one shot.
Oh, there's stuff that you can get where it's a pre-processed sample that people just throw in there.
It's already got the
No, it's just the
overly
recorded.
compressed.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's like a pre-mixed drum kit. No, I did mix it all myself still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Fantastic.
Magnifique.
Magnifique.
Yeah. Al dente. Throw them against the wall, the drumstick. It's pasta. It's just pasta.
Drumstick. Nice.
Please help me. We didn't actually intro Ares. Ares is
dads.
JP's solo project, where he does literally everything. In the past, you've had people come in on the video and production side of stuff.
Like you.
Yep, like
Yes.
myself. And Scott.
And Scott.
but now I see you sort of taking on some of those duties as well, as far as doing your own content stream and stuff like that.
Right.
What's the learning curve been like for that? And I see you're like taking quite a structured approach at building that visual audience.
Yeah. Well, finally graduated out of iMovie.
Yo.
I'm in Premiere Pro now, so
I'll
one
drink
of
to that.
the big boys.
Is that your fault?
I think you might have asked me what I use at some point in time.
Oh, yeah, you probably had some influence. Yep. And I've always actually loved editing videos, like editing music videos, and like, yeah, lining everything up and getting the vibe. Like, I think it's really exciting. But mainly, it's all just been about cost saving. Like, it's just trying to find a way of doing things for less, because I think it's still, I don't know if it's a surprise for anyone watching this now, but it's still really hard to make money in the music industry. Unfortunately, still trying to solve that problem.
Yeah.
It's a huge surprise. I'm really sorry.
I don't mean to want to break this to you.
Yeah. And my bad. It's my fault.
Yeah.
I think it's my fault.
I'll have to console him later, but carry on.
But what I found is like getting into Premiere as well has been really cool. Learning how that program works, and I've been sort of really enjoying chopping up some good footage and turning it into music videos and looking to develop that as well. Yeah,
because like trying to capture a visual energy on top of sort of musical and performance energy, and trying to have that all work, I guess, like synergistically together. It's I don't know, it's a fun process. It's pretty time consuming.
Yeah, well, I don't definitely, and I don't know that I ever will try and, actually not sure I just did it with a cover, but I mean, for an official video, I'd still always want a camera person and someone to help with the lights and stuff like that, because I think that actually it's like with recording, what goes in to the camera is 90% of what makes a video good, right?
Yeah.
So
get your source good, and then it makes the rest of the process that much easier.
Exactly. And that's exactly the same with mixing audio.
Yep.
And so there's some things that I can't shortcut when that's one of them. So
yeah.
So but that's why it's such a joy to then start chopping that up for a video, because it's like, it looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
I don't even don't have to do anything to it to make it look better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I can edit those videos all day.
Yeah. Because there's a bit more like, I guess, like sort of variation going on. Whereas like say when you're filming yourself, it's generally a fixed camera.
Filming myself doing music videos.
Yeah. Filming yourself doing your clips and things like that.
Yeah.
Oh. Obviously that ends up being like a
it's just
fixed,
annoying.
Yeah.
That's what you wanted to. No, yeah. So okay. So do you mean like for shorts and reels
shorts and just your various bits and pieces? Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just as simple as chucking on a stand.
Yeah, for sure.
Trying to get a vibe, something like actually mainly that's about framing. It's just trying to fit everything in.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you've got to hit record and then
walk over to the thing.
And then try and do a thing and And that's so it's like this whole world of content. Like this is going to take me down another.
Yeah, go for it.
Take me down a ramp. But this whole world of content that we're in is like detracting from the actual music production, because instead of spending 2 hours, the 2 spare hours that I've got tracking guitars for a new song, I'm spending an hour tracking guitars and another hour faffing about making a reel because it's what the algorithm wants, because I'm trying to grow an audience, and I mean, it's just the world we live in, and I don't know that complaining about it on a podcast is going to solve any problems.
Probably into a giant echo chamber. Anybody listening to this would be like, yep, we fucking get it.
Yeah. So actually
one of those necessary evils kind of.
Yeah.
And there's this whole piece of, actually now that I'm doing it, because I've mainly been doing this because of YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
That's really what's driven it. And that's this 3-month experiment that I'm doing on YouTube at the moment, is find a way to meet the need of the algorithm without killing yourself as a creative. And so that's actually pretty exciting. I'm like, oh, there's a way to do this though. Like for instance, I took just one take of the drum filming from the cover of No Diggity that I did, and I chopped that up into 6 or 7 videos, and that fed my algorithm for a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that job took half an hour and gave me 7 days of content. Was that content like highly watched and super awesome? Like, no, but it did meet the need of the YouTube shorts where they want to see it every day. So when I do put something that's actually really cool out, it'll probably spit it out to more people and help me get some more subscribers and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's generally what like most content creators do is they set aside a day, and that's their content generation day. And then you've got, several weeks of content already primed and ready for multiple platforms.
I mean, that's awesome. And like, batching for sure is definitely the way to go.
Yeah.
And it just gets tricky when you don't have a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a section of time.
I've got, because I've got a 9-month-old son.
Yeah.
I've, as well as my 17-year-old daughter and also 6-year-old stepdaughter. Family. I could have just summed that up with family.
Yeah.
I've got a family.
Yeah.
But I suppose the 9-month-old son is a bit more time consuming. Which is obviously not a complaint, but just a thing to manage around when it comes to making the content.
Yeah.
And so I don't get a day. I get like 2 hours here or there where I can, and then it's this choice of, okay, do I make content or do I write a song or, do I
try and do both?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a problem to overcome, but yeah, these things, it's just part of life, isn't it?
Yeah. How involved are the kids? So like when you're writing in your writing process, or you're like wanting to have studio time, do you ever get, it's like at 9 months, my kid was just there.
Right.
Because it was like,
What else can I do?
what
right?
else can I do? So
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yeah.
So for you, does that happen regularly or?
No. Basically, how it works is I am there, like, and all the, I have two daddy daycare days a week.
Oh yeah, right on.
And I'm there at like the family times and stuff like that. But then I pull some crazy hours either side of that, mainly in the morning to try and get some stuff done during the week. And
Oh, right on. Yeah, cool.
yeah,
I got you.
So my son's he wants your attention when you're with him, and he's off doing crazy shit now because he's walking and he's not walking, he's crawling, but he's standing up on things, and so me trying to write a riff.
Yeah,
And stop him from hurting himself just doesn't compare.
It's like, can you just stop moving for a second? I just got to get this down.
Yeah.
Damn, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And
Dude, we used to do recordings in the studio and have like a bass case. So my partner would bring along her bass case, and then we would take her bass out of it and put the baby in it. So baby was just sleeping in the bass case while we were doing some quick recordings, and everyone was just making noises, playing drums, and he slept right through the whole thing. It was
I
great.
love that.
Man.
And it's cool that you've like raising them in that environment, right? It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And it's not to say that we don't have that with what we've got, but it's I think it's probably in terms of my own productivity.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
fair
You know what I
enough.
mean?
Yeah.
That's just where that's.
Yes, I know
that
what you
space-
mean.
Yeah, the space works for me.
Yeah, man.
And the fact that your recording station is just outside your house.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because how's that change been going from in that sort of room upstairs to sort of with that sort of mixing environment and recording environment there to now being in your kind of new setup? What's been the biggest noticeable change for you?
I don't know. I think it's just this. It feels more like I'm going to a place of work a little bit, which is actually quite cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like
Because the kitchen's not just right there.
right. Yeah. And like I can go out and make some noise at 3 or 4 in the morning if I need to.
Oh, dope. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Because mostly what I'm doing is in the box, in headphones if need be, and
Right.
and it's not really bugging anyone.
Yeah.
So right now it's helping us meet that need, and also it's helping us meet the need of having an extra bedroom in the house. So
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
yeah, so it's cool. I actually really enjoy it. Definitely would enjoy developing the studio idea further.
Yeah. Because acoustically, how's it different
Well,
from a treatment perspective?
I mean, like the room I was in before was an attic.
Yeah.
And so,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the speakers were here, and then there's a slanted roof here.
Right.
So reflections was just a part of life.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to buy like $10,000 worth of treatment to try and stop that from happening.
Yeah.
So my way around that is I do have some treatment. I have like some nice panels for first reflections and a couple of bass traps and some panels on the back wall, just a little bit to stop the bounce back.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've got room treatment software that I switch on when I'm mixing.
Yep.
And it kind of it just
makes it consistent.
Yeah, well, yeah. What does it do? It fills out the gaps and it cuts off the peaks. So basically, if you've got too much 300 hertz in the room, it'll chop that peak off, and if you haven't got enough 2K in the room, it'll fill that up.
Right.
Yeah. So, and that's just to a baseline. So that's just you're mixing flat.
Yeah.
Right.
And it probably isn't flat. There's
But
probably
flat,
still problems, but I think it's coming close to flat. Yeah, flat. Yeah, it's hilly instead of mountainous.
Yeah. Have you found that that's made your mixes translate more consistently?
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know the car test?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Often I'll find now I'll hop in the car and it's pretty much there, and I've got maybe a dozen tweaks to do instead of like, whoa, this needs a complete remix. I think that was always usually my experience in the car. I was like, I don't remember there being a horn section. Like,
Typically, when we got done at the studio, it was too late. So by the time we were doing the car test, it was always like this sounds amazing, and then the next day we're just like, what were we thinking? Yeah. Yes.
mixing is hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a hard life.
It's hard.
And it's one of I feel like mixing's one of those ones that's a learn by doing. Like,
Oh yeah.
you can get all this information online, which is really helpful, but until you get in and do it,
Well, yeah.
that's like you're not going to know.
You know, if you want to try and create some clarity around the kick and the bass, you're supposed to cut it out at 50 hertz and boost the bass at 150 or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
So, but then if you're working with a kick that actually sounds good at like 90 hertz, and you're not actually trying that, that information is useless.
Yeah.
You do need to know what you're really looking for.
Yeah, if you're going off like a frequency cheat sheet,
Yeah.
that might be doing you a disservice
Yeah.
if you sort of stick to that too rigorously.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I think it's really helpful to listen to a lot of good music in the space that you're working in.
Yeah.
To really hear what a good whatever sounds
Yeah.
like, and so
Yeah.
you can find something to emulate.
Yeah.
Because what was your history with mixing before your project?
This is my history of mixing, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, really nice.
Yeah, it's all on tape. You can listen to it from the start.
Yeah, cool.
Which is cool that it's there.
Yeah.
With the consistency of you.
Right.
Like the fact that, yes, it's your performance. You can see your performancing. Your performance.
No, performancing. That's
Performancing,
the word.
yeah.
I like that for me.
You can see your performing grow, your writing grow, your production grow from piece to piece to piece.
Right.
And it's not looking back and being like sort of cringing at
Oh, no,
what
I am.
you
I
know,
am
but
cringing, yeah.
but
But
that's
I'm
from
not.
your own personal take of it.
Yeah.
But from an outsider's perspective, seeing that growth and change, and hearing that growth and change, it's really interesting it's a really unique way of seeing it, because somebody doing that, there's a reason people don't record, write, produce
Yeah.
their
That's
own stuff all the
a
time.
really good reason.
Yeah. But you can see that whole growth of it.
Yeah.
Which is really cool to see as like a catalog's concerned.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, to give some perspective on that, it's not so much that I don't want to work with other people. It's that it costs money to work with other people much of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one thing I don't have is a lot of money for that. But what I do have is a real drive to learn and a real drive to develop myself. And so I guess it's just kind of like, instead of investing money into hiring someone who's excellent at the job, I'm going to invest time into trying to make myself excellent. So far I've gotten good enough,
I'd say more than good enough, but yeah.
Yeah, cheers. But,
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the ethos behind it.
Yeah.
And I mean, traditionally with like bands like Harmed in Advance and Swerve City, we've still gone to those people because there's money there. There's 4 people's income instead of just one.
Yeah.
And that's good. But I've kind of developed the mixing and the production into a bit of an asset for myself now, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Like, Patience Way, I think I've gotten a really cool response from it. But I'm super excited about the new stuff that I've got. I'm actually listening to it and actually feeling really happy about it. It's actually, which seems stupid, but that's anomalous for me in my production career.
Yeah.
I've actually always I don't know. I think a lot of people have this experience, but often the only thing you hear when you're that involved in a project is the mistakes and the issues that you want to fix, right?
Yep.
So
yeah,
I think it's quite telling that when I listen to the songs now that I'm writing, I'm not as concerned with the mistakes, and I'm actually starting to hear what was in my head to start with.
So you're actually able to translate your like internal sort of idea of the song, and you feel like you've got the ability to actually put that down now.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good place to get to be able to translate those messages.
Absolutely, I'm like stoked, but it's also taken like 5 years of hard work. And so I'm really hopeful that I now get to put 10 years into 10, 20, 30 years into making the most of that.
Yeah, awesome.
And putting out some really cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit, you sort of loosely mentioned Swerve City.
Loosely,
yeah. What's a bit of an update there? Because obviously Kevin's been off getting married and things like that.
Romantic AF time.
Yeah, bastard.
Yeah, good on him.
Yeah, give us a bit of an update on the Swerve City front.
Well, between Adam and myself having little ones and Shannon being busy Shannon with his work and projects and all that. Imposter syndrome is the name of his project. Shut that out.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. Sorry, just
you're okay.
It was the cat.
Bit of drama.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry.
I've told you about the cat. I told you. What have I said?
We're just bringing it back. The audience is completely blind.
And Kev's been overseas for 6 months, so basically, it's not much has been happening. But Adam got into my little studio to lay down some drums on the next few songs. We've got a EP in the works, and hopefully Kev's back soon. And I think we're going to get back into the jam room, hopefully practice some songs and play some shows sometime in the next 3 or 4 months. Yeah, that'd be cool. Nice. So nothing booked, but the recording process for we're in the second half of the recording process for an EP. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's all sorts of things that happen after that before you release it, like make it plan and I don't know, drink some beers. And,
So because you're spearheading, from a production side, you're spearheading this one.
What'd you say?
From a production side, you're spearheading this one.
I am. Yeah. So I was very honoured to get the nod from the lads to mainly save some coin, but also that I'm.
But they felt confident enough in your ability skills. To do it. To translate that idea into Swerve City as well.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Yeah.
So we're going to get some live drums on there. We're doing the live drums last. So we're getting Adam's performances on first on an E-kit, getting everything tracked and edited and sounding good, and then laying the live drums in at the end.
Yeah. Nice. Do you know where you're going to go for that?
The lab.
Yeah. That's where you went last time, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's great.
Are you going to be the one behind the desk, or are you going to kind of sit there with the house engineer to kind of as far as
So I'll be a traditional producer role.
Yeah.
And I'll be like,
just lay back on the couch.
Yeah. Ignore what's happening.
Yeah.
Just put out a tweet. put out a tweet about a croissant I just had.
Yeah. And then take all the credit.
Yeah. That's just to be clear, that's not my experience with any of the producers I've worked with. But so that'll be good.
Yeah, for sure.
When we get there.
Yeah.
Right on.
Because bit more work to go.
Wearing all these hats and diving into all these different sort of obviously learning about mixing and actually doing it. Writing, recording, performing, working, family, time management.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Copious amounts.
Can you
of
tell me? Well, not that I'm aware of. But I'm not going to rule it out.
Damn good cut.
Someone's been cutting up my broccoli or something. Man, this broccoli's good.
That's that power, mate.
So, well, you probably, anyone who may have noticed me when I was social and out and living life in a public way will have noticed that I'm not now.
Yeah.
And I wake up and I work and I eat and I sleep and I spend time with family, and that's and I come on podcasts with you lovely gentlemen.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And so I mean, that's one hack. So
don't have a
for
social
more time.
life.
Just cut the social life out completely.
Yeah.
But that's easy because no one likes me anyway. So easy win.
I didn't want to say that publicly, but
It's basically my brand. Anyway, that was self-deprecating humor.
yeah. Well, that's your MO though.
That's my emo.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just write lots of lists. Prioritize. It's priority triage in my house
Right.
all the time.
Yeah.
I think lately, I mean, as long as my business stuff is all taken care of, as in my work stuff,
Yeah.
teaching stuff, as long as it's sort of like, everyone's got the song that they're working on, all the emails are being sent, I'm able to put creativity first. And so whenever I can put creativity first, I'll go and do whatever it is that's pressing, whatever I need to do first. But mainly, honestly, it's meant creating time.
Yeah.
That's time that I would have usually slept,
Mm.
to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pulling some crazy hours, and that's because I'm ridiculously motivated to develop my music brand.
Yeah.
Nice.
And grow it because I've been doing it for 2 decades and the fire's still there.
Yeah.
And I haven't done everything I want to do with it yet.
Yeah,
and
cool.
so I'm still going.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. So there's no surprises there.
Yeah.
It's just
There's no secret
No.
trick to it. It's discipline, no social life, and less sleep.
that's it.
Yeah.
You got it, man.
Yeah.
That's how you get to have 2 careers.
And copious amounts of lists.
yeah. I thought you were going to say cocaine broccoli.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Well, we can go
you
there.
can't have too much of it.
Yeah.
No, you can have too much of it.
You should have some.
You can't have some of mine.
My special mix.
SIS Stories and Sound brought to you by Cocaine Broccoli. It's all your favorite flavors of broccoli mixed with the enhanced power of cocaine.
So, because we'll go into, we'll try and bring this back on track a bit.
Come on, man.
Why?
You're trapped.
What do you mean? Why?
You started out with guitar.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still feel like guitar is your main?
I thought you'd ask this, and
Yeah.
I thought about it. So here's how I see myself:
Yeah.
above average guitarist, average singer, mediocre drummer.
Yeah. And then bass, just nah.
Bass.
No.
Got your bassists.
Yeah.
It's just like playing guitar for me in
Yeah.
my genre. So
Yeah.
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 In your genre.
Well, like
Just
yeah. I don't actually. This could be cringy, but I don't actually like fingerstyle bass at all. So I actually prefer the sound of a pick. It's easy for me.
Yeah.
it's okay.
Just
I'll
translates
forgive
across.
you. All right, it's fine.
Thank you. Yeah. Both
you.
styles are valid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you're saving yourself a little bit. That's right. I got you.
But I agree
I
with
see you, man. I see you.
I agree with the point of the pick and having the attack that goes with, and kind of like, I guess the twang that can kind of come.
It's the attack.
Yeah, that can come from using a pick for the style of music.
I feel like some fingerstyle bassists can actually get that sound out of there, but I don't have that experience of trying to do that with finger playing. So
I'm giving you shit, but I use pick.
nice.
Ooh, scandal.
And as a
That's a
result of
skeleton in my closet.
That's a testicle on your skeleton. You were looking to try and bring it in. So
the audience gets it. They get it.
They get it now,
They get it. You get it.
Yeah.
You're laughing anyway, right?
right?
What have you gone with for the guitars on Patience Way?
Yeah.
How'd you go about processing them? Like, what did you run it through?
Neural DSP is my tone.
Yeah. Which one?
Archetype Nolly would have
Yeah.
been the main driver for that one.
Yeah.
And I still love it.
I think Spirit Box used that as well.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good. And how good is Spirit Box?
Oh my God.
You got me going on Spirit Box now.
Yeah. Oh, careful.
It's about to try and sing Holy Roller. Wouldn't have
Yeah.
been good. Wouldn't have been good for anybody. Not good entertainment. Because I don't even know the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great song. But
Yeah.
And then, what do I do after that? Having a blank.
Because do you find a tone?
Broccoli.
Yeah. Do you find a tone that
change the subject?
that
Broccoli.
that you just like basically that you like from the start and don't necessarily
I am like
tweak
that.
it much?
I am like that. Yeah.
So
If
you
I
find
like it,
that
I
tone?
like it.
Yeah.
And I don't mess with it too much.
Yeah, right on.
We're in a world where we can always change things and nobody wants to commit to something.
Right.
Because we can always tweak or we can always modify after the fact.
Yeah.
Whereas like, why'd you spend that time nailing it, like lining up this sound or this tone just to then go back and change it again? And it's similar what people have experienced, what I've heard people say about their experiences tracking in studio is they get a DI tracked at the same time as their mic'd up amp and cab. They spend like days finding a tone that they want to track with.
Yep.
Then whoever's mixing just ends up
Using the DI.
reamping the DI.
Yep.
Which obviously for a desired result, but why waste that time when
you could just go on the DI in the first place? Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, for me, I don't have the luxury of trying to get a studio amp sound.
Yeah.
But for me, I just like the way it sounded. And like, I've kind of got bigger problems to solve with producing a whole record. You know, it's sort of like, I like that. Great. That's a problem solved. I can tick that off.
Because you've got to make a lot of decisions as in your role. Or obviously, all of the decisions have to be made. You're not just kind of letting somebody else do it.
Yeah.
So you can't spend ages dwelling over one simple little thing because you've got a fucking laundry list of other things you've got to do.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's cool.
Yeah.
Like, thank you, Neural DSP. I think I like fanboyed all over. I've just released the Rabia pack.
Yeah.
With like, I mean, it's great sounding guitar stuff, but then the video was friggin' incredible.
Yeah.
Like, the dude like jamming. I was like, this is sick. And
Gives you motivation for your own. Yeah.
I was like, as I think that was my comment was like, yeah, that sounds great, but this video is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, you're my heroes. I think I said Neural DSP, you're my heroes in the comment. Yeah. You can go and see that.
Yeah. There's proof out there.
There's proof out there. Yeah.
I got one of his baritones. 6-string baritones.
Really?
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's tidy.
Yeah, I bet it is.
I'm not much of like a telly shape fan, but that one just
Is that the one that he's jamming on that video? Have you seen that video? He's jamming a telly in
Is it the red?
No, it's like a green one.
Yeah,
it didn't
the red one.
It didn't look long. Looked like a normal telly size, so maybe not. But
yeah. Sounds so good though.
What I find though is when I'm working on guitar sounds is I always have a mixed reference. And I found like listening to Periphery and North Lane and all these amazing guitar oriented bands is the guitar doesn't actually sound like we think guitar sounds, you know, like, and it's probably the same with most instruments. It doesn't actually, I was talking to you about this like a few months ago or something. It's like, it's soft. Like it sounds heavy. Like the music sounds heavy, but the guitar is not like cutting your ear off.
Yeah.
Sounds, it's nice. It's listenable.
Yeah.
And like that's what I've been trying to figure out for the last couple of records. I'm pretty happy. I've kind of gotten that, I feel like.
Because when you isolate just a guitar sound from, say, if you get the multi-tracks from whatever song it may be, and you just solo just the guitar, it's surprising how, I guess, like, non-ballsy.
Yeah.
I guess it sounds. You know?
I remember watching a mix tutorial from the guy from Failure, which is a great band. And he's like, here's how you get a huge guitar sound. And then he spent the next 10 minutes talking about his drum sound. It's like,
right.
That's hilarious.
So the trick to a good guitar sound is good drums?
Yeah, it's probably good everything, isn't it?
Yeah. Everything else.
Yeah.
Because that's what I found, like, especially like getting into sort of playing with tones and stuff like that, is you find a tone, it's like, oh yeah, this is sick. But then when you put it into a mix, it's just messing everything else up. Because it's just across the entire sort of frequency range.
Yep.
And then what you think sounds cool as like a bedroom tone isn't a recording or mixing tone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What might sound cool
or it might
in
sound,
a venue,
yeah,
like has like a venue tone, but then what is actually on the recorded track, completely different.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Usually you got to make space for all the other instruments.
Yeah.
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 And so there you have it.
Yeah. Do you do like a destructive sort of mixing technique or additive kind of stuff? Like as far as from EQ, do you boost or do you cut more so?
Well, I kind of do both.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I would go through a process of taking stuff away to start with, and then it becomes additive when you're sort of looking at what is a tone lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't got enough of a certain sound in an instrument, then that's definitely means cool for adding a few dB. But and then it becomes both at the end when you're doing masking. So you can you find out where a sweet spot is in one instrument, and you boost it there while taking that same frequency out of another instrument.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Right?
Yeah.
So then it's like it's everything.
Yeah,
So,
because that's what I found. People find like sort of how they make space for the bass guitar, as far as like being able to find like an audible tone for it is okay. Find where the attack is. Cool. Take that out of
Something
the other
else.
areas.
Yeah.
And then you can bump it up if you want to play with it a bit more. And then for the guitar, if you want to separate that, same idea.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's going to be different for your tones and everything, but that's what I'm working towards anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Damn cat.
Getting all tangled up.
say.
Yeah. As far as the new stuff's concerned,
Yes.
how far along the process would you say you are there?
Halfway track the new album.
Halfway?
Jeez,
So
nice.
there's 5 tracks in the bag.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They take a while, that's the thing. So I got a song idea the day that Patience Way was released,
Yeah.
and 2 weeks later it was finished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your turnaround can be quick. Is it always?
Do you think that's
quick?
quick? Is that quick? I don't know.
Like because that's like written, recorded, produced.
Yeah, produced, edited, and all that sort of
That's
carry on.
yes.
Okay,
I'd
that's
say
quick.
that's quick.
Yeah.
And especially because you're not dedicating day.
No, I
to it,
can't.
You know,
Yeah.
and so you're dedicating sections of time.
Yeah.
So if you'd consider your total amount of time spent on that song,
Yeah.
that's even quicker.
And
Yeah.
then combining that with what you're doing with promoting it and then promoting the last stuff and then trying to connect with people online to get things moving.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
really, if you think about it, you're hauling ass.
I had a suspicion I was hauling ass. I was like, look at all this ass. There's a whole trail of it.
If I didn't have all this ass, I could work even faster.
Wait, now you're just fat shaming me. No, I have been working pretty hard, but there's just the fire.
Yeah.
It's been the last year it's been really fiercely burning in me.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, definitely not ready to stop now. But yeah, I suppose that is a pretty quick turnaround when you talk about it like that. I think I'm used to. I think my perspective is based on having worked with some really cool producers who you go on and track whatever instruments, and the next day they're all edited and ready to go, because you've got to actually have really great sounding instruments before you track really great sounding instruments on top of them. Otherwise, if it's unedited and not sounding awesome, then you don't know if what you're putting on top of it is going to sound awesome.
Yeah, I
right?
get that.
So that's
Because if you try to layer things together too quickly, then you're kind of playing on a less than stellar thing. Then you're not quite sure if what you're playing actually works with it.
Yeah.
Because you don't see it as its kind of near endpoint.
Yeah. And so when you're working with guys like that, but these are people who are working with teams as well, which is like a huge, awesome thing that I would love to do. And hopefully one day I do get to do that. So you'll have a finished product in potentially 4 days, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
And it's like world-class standard.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's amazing. So I sort of think, while I'm sort of cobbling together a song of my own 2 or 3 hours at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I didn't really acknowledge. I don't know if I acknowledged at the start, but my partner, Carly, is hugely supportive of me, by the way.
Yeah. It's kind of what I was going to ask you next. It's just like who in your life is supporting the project. So you've got your partner, but like, are there other people in the industry that's kind of like helping you push things along, or other than
This man has helped me to no end.
that was not baiting, by the way.
I'll pay you
But
later.
we'll take it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got good support with family, which is awesome.
Yeah, cool.
It's huge. It's everything.
Yeah.
Because I think like it's important that the creativity. I think you guys are probably the same. It's inherent in me, as a person. And when you try and stop that, and when you try and put it to one side, it just creates some major issues. And also, it doesn't lead to a happy life. So it's really important to have the facility to express yourself in such a way.
Yeah.
If that and that also includes expressing myself in such a way that I'm getting up at ridiculous o'clock.
Yeah.
And you're not feeling like you're forcing it.
No.
Like you want to get up to do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just on fire. Yeah. It's amazing. Loving it.
Yeah.
Loving it.
Yeah.
Getting too tired sometimes.
Yeah.
Not loving being too tired sometimes, but it's awesome.
There are points where you have to pull yourself away.
I mean, I have to pull myself away every time I leave the office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I leave the studio, I have to pull myself
just
away.
a little bit more, little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's all valid stuff. It's like I've got to pull myself away because I've got to go teach some guitar to some kids to earn some money, which is awesome. Like that's not a problem. I've got to go spend some time with my family, with my son, with my daughter, stepdaughter, my partner. Like these are not problems.
Yeah.
It's good. And I really would just like a little bit more balance towards having that time, for the music career coming from something else. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where it fits, but
Yeah.
one day I'll know. What was the original question?
I don't know.
People who sit in the industry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like
Other than this guy.
music.net.nz of
Dope. Cool.
amazing. And I think there's a network of, like Luke Finlay mastered the record. You guys had Luke on here before. He's very intelligent, talented gentleman.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's all the musos you can spin a yarn with, and they'll share your posts and you'll share their posts, and there's a network and there's a community. And I mean, I feel like I'm probably leaving out some really like the independent radio stations.
Yeah.
There's the Generator, there's Bay Rock, there's Chaos FM, of course. Who, by the way, are spinning some sick music. Like they've got great playlists, really worth listening to. And you'll hear some new stuff and some interesting stuff that you might not hear elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's one of the amazing things with those kinds of stations is because, and it's our natural way of digesting music nowadays, because there's so much that comes out, we don't necessarily try to seek new things out that easily. And then obviously there's playlists if you follow those on Spotify or Apple Music or stuff. But again, there's a whole area of music that just doesn't get a look in that area, where then those independent radio stations are
they're highlighting it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of perfect timing. Sorry. Yeah, it's just perfect timing because you've got the start of the BNet again. So like in the old days, you had the student radio networks all linking together and sharing music between each other.
Right.
They stopped doing that in the late 90s, and now they're starting to pick up that same concept again because it's just easier to get like newer, more brilliant artists coming out. Yeah. And so the BNet's up and running. It's a good time.
Nice. Long may that last.
Yeah, right.
And then also like just fans, like there's some amazing grassroots New Zealand fans who are like, they're seeing all that's going on with up and coming artists who are working really hard, artists who aren't necessarily getting spotlighted. And I definitely would put myself in that place. I feel like you have to work so hard to get seen. And they're there and they're saying, hey, well done. I like this music and I'm sharing this music and I'm buying this music and like it's everything, honestly.
Yeah. Because it's all well and good. Like it's awesome getting people to say, yeah, that was cool. I really liked listening to that. But then having that person then share it or, have the idea of like, cool, if you like this, show it to two or three of your friends. Like that step from...
It's courageous, really.
The step from saying, yes, I like this to, I want everyone else to have a look at it as well.
Exactly.
It's like to try and grow your audience. It's something that's kind of needed.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's one of the steps that a lot of the New Zealand audience doesn't quite do, is engage to a point where they'll start to try and feed it around.
Yeah.
Which
there's probably something to be said about cultural, the need for social proof.
Yeah.
Makes New Zealand culture maybe. I don't know. It's fine. It's not a problem. It's just...
Yeah. But as far as like, I'm just more meaning in the way of like when you're trying to grow, yes, having that direct engagement, but then someone taking that step to share it around.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah. It's really cool. Yeah.
And it just makes it really sort of...
still rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, as you're saying. And so I always do whatever I can to sort of thank people and celebrate the fact they did it because it's what's my art. Like, you know, I've worked my butt off on it.
Yeah.
And so to have someone acknowledge that and
appreciate it
and celebrate
and
it from their experience is amazing. Yeah.
How would you feel handing that baby over? Like, as far as, obviously you're doing everything with arrays now, and you're saying if it gets to a point where you can get others involved from like a, you know, financial perspective, how would you, I don't know if you could do that.
Or would you just basically write it and then have them fill in for the parts?
You mean like band members?
Yeah.
Or or whatever.
So I think that's, you know, that's probably the next phase is actually getting people to play the parts, but I'm still writing the parts.
Yeah, cool.
Because I feel like that's just the vibe.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing for 5 years. So that's not really what's broken with the project, I don't think, personally.
Yeah.
I think it's what's broken is that it can't be played live if it's just me. But I think that's a missing piece, and probably the next era is being able to play it live and share it and take it around the country and maybe even the world.
Yeah, because I know that's something you've wanted to approach with it from the get-go. Is I guess it started out as just you sort of having these songs that may not have worked for certain things and wanting to develop and release them yourself.
Yeah.
But always in your mind, you've been a performer.
Yeah.
And wanting to perform these songs that you've put your heart and soul into to other people.
Right.
Has always been on the cards to some extent.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from a creative and artistic expression point of view, but also from the cringy thing to say, but also from the business perspective, it's like it's an arm of a music entity that's missing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's an opportunity to actually connect with real people. In fact, it's like the only opportunity to actually connect with real people these days with music, I feel like. And I'm missing it. I'm not getting it. You know, and it's also a really great way of it's a great thing to help grow. It grows everything that's happening online, and it's also something that grows itself. Like if you're doing a good job with a live show, you have to upgrade your venue eventually, right? You have to get 150 space because you've put on 4 or 5 great shows in that town, and everyone's told their friends they want to come along. It's exciting, super exciting.
'Cause I've seen that with like say the Swerve shows.
Yeah,
you guys have been putting like a lot of production effort into the shows. It's not just about putting on a gig.
It's
it's putting on a gig that people remember, that people then say next time it comes around, however far away that may be.
Yep.
They're like, oh, last time the show was awesome. Yep. You should come along too.
Yeah.
And that's like that kind of snowball effect.
Yeah.
From a production side.
That's dead right. Yeah. I think we always had the intention of just putting something great on, and then waiting a little bit. Giving some time to gestate, and then doing it again. And we were starting to see some success before COVID as well. There were, I think first show we played to 60 people, and the second, I think it was like the 4th or 5th Auckland show was to 120. So it was growing, and it was really cool. And I want to do that with arrays as well. Absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
I want to do that with whatever project I've got, because I think that's actually probably like the most exciting thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how you just lit up there. You were just like, I got to do it like right now.
Yeah.
It's the testicles on my skeleton.
Do you think Center of the Earth would be on the set list?
It wasn't requested when I put the feelers out.
Okay.
So I pretty staunchly believe in crowdsourcing the content that you're going to share with the crowd, right?
Yeah.
Right.
If these are the people who want to come see me play, I want to make sure that they're getting the songs they want to hear.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Right. Like,
yeah. There's a point of like you're sort of like
approach. Yeah.
So like because it can be like sort of servicing your own creative.
That's what it's about, though.
Feeling.
Right.
But then also taking the input of the people that are listening and wanting to engage.
Well, I'm glad I got to say it, but I think music more and more for me now is about service. Like,
right.
I'm trying to improve my production, not so much because I have this ego that needs to be
fueled,
massaged or fueled. It's actually because I want people to enjoy themselves listening to it.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to make music that's comfortable and exciting to listen to. That's actually been the ethos for the last like 2 or 3 records. Is like I want it to be something that people actually engage with and really get some value out of. And same thing with the live shows. Like, rather than thinking about it as this thing where I can get something, like all these people are here to see me play some music, doesn't that sound kind of vacuous? Like, whereas it's like, hey, what if I can give you something? Like, what if I'm, good enough as a live performer where you get to feel like you get to move with me and it's safe and we all get to have some fun together.
Yeah.
Like, that's so much more value and so much more reason to do something like that.
Yeah, because that's actually something that I've had a discussion with someone about before, was that I was organizing a gig and they were performing and only like about 10 people showed up.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm real sorry I couldn't, like, there wasn't enough people to come through, or I'm sorry that there weren't more people. And he was just like, no, man, this was awesome. Everyone who was here actually were here because they liked me and the stuff that I was doing and what we were doing together. So really, that's a good attitude to have.
Man, that's cool. Because they'll vibe that.
Yeah,
and then next time he comes through, they come through, they've probably told their friends that they had a great time.
Yeah.
And then that the system works, right?
Yep. Yeah. It was since that gig that's changed my entire ethos around it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
You're not performing for yourself, you're performing for those in attendance.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even with them, Yeah. Because
there's an
they're
energy
part
exchange.
of it,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally. Like, it's totally a, what's what I'm looking for? It's a symbiotic experience,
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Like, because I will do things differently on a stage if there's someone giving me something.
Yep.
Yes.
Right? I'm going to respond to that.
Yeah.
So it's not like JP Robot walks out and performs 8 songs flawlessly and then walks off stage feeling like I'm a adequate performer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
I miss it a lot. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah. Like you said, like as when you started to talk about like sort of performing live and stuff like that, like it was like a big kind of, well, the grin just went massive.
Right.
Yeah. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's been something you've been doing for a long time.
Yeah. I'm really interested in the art of it as well.
Yeah.
I think I started out being quite bad at it, and I think that's why I'm so interested in it. Like, I wasn't always a great singer, and so that was something to develop. And then when I developed the singing, it didn't necessarily solve the problem. And this is harking back to a time where I did have an ego to massage.
Yeah.
I had that problem to solve. Like, why aren't the people coming to my shows to help me feel so good about myself?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't have an ego, by the way.
Yeah,
That's not what I'm saying. But like it was, it was bad. Anyway.
Yeah.
How can a guy that has a solo project where he does everything and does it, how can he not have an ego?
Not have an ego? Yeah.
I mean, you started out trying to hide away from the fact that it was all you.
Yeah.
But then you just decide I stuff it, like it's all me. I'm just gonna put it out there and sort of take away that mask that I'm trying to put on it.
Yeah.
And just let people know that it's all me.
Yeah.
It's just the contemporary take on the one-man band.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think what music was prior to that, and this is talking more about the live thing, was it was a way for me to solve my not enoughness.
Right.
Not feeling like I'm enough of a human. And so if I perform this music, then everyone's going to think I'm enough.
Yeah.
And then I realized that obviously that's, there's books and books written on that, and playing more music to more people doesn't solve that.
Yeah.
And so,
if anything, if you got too much traction with that as your driving factor, it'd probably push you even further down those directions.
right.
Yeah.
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 Imagine playing to 10,000 people and still not feeling like you're enough.
Yeah.
you gotta be like your mate who's played to 10 people and is loving life and loving himself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a much better way to be.
Yeah. And that's more of like a true artist kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a true artist.
Yeah. I'd say that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with like, again, the development that's happened.
He's just plying you with the occasional compliment, man. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is opening him up.
I mean, like
Yeah.
I said,
He didn't have an ego, and
I've
then he walked
seen-
in here, and then
yeah.
you provided him with a bigger one.
I've seen it all from before the beginning.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I've mentioned it in the past when we've spoken before as well, but the growth with it all is just like really cool to see and hear.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've come a long ass way. And not to say that what you did with like Rick and stuff like that was
Hauling all these asses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
A long way hauling asses.
Yeah.
And not to say that Rick was its time. Like it was where you were at that time.
Yeah.
For as a producer and everything like that, and that's a snapshot.
Yeah.
And then everything from there has just been kind of like
Rick. Yeah,
something new.
I was thinking like REC.
Yeah.
You're talking about an album called Wreck. WRECK.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because also like spiritually for me, that's a big turning point, that record. That was actually immediately post-divorce.
Yeah.
No love for my music or for myself, coming from myself. And you can hear that.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds awful. songs are okay. Like, and I was sort of like, actually, that was like the year that I was trying to give up music. I was like, this can't be for me. Like, what is music? This is meaningless. And then that's kind of like, after that, well, the next record was Light Years, wasn't it? Yeah, which was a huge change in terms of production value and everything.
You could almost say light years of difference.
Hey, you could say that.
Hey, I can have puns too.
Get out!
You're better than this.
Oh, man.
No, I'm super excited to see, the next step for Arrays, the next stuff that's coming out for Swerve City when it gets to that point. And just all the stuff that you've got going on is super exciting.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited to share it.
Yeah, and I'm definitely here for it. Yeah. And on that,
wicked, man.
thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's been an awesome chat.
Yeah.
I just love just talking shit for however long we've been talking.
Yeah.
10 minutes?
Has it been how many? 10 minutes?
Maybe about 10 minutes, yeah. Shortest episode yet.
It's been 11 minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, for listening. Check out other episodes on Spotify and on YouTube. And yeah, follow Arrays, follow JP, follow him in real life if you want to. I can't remember who's saying that is to actually
Don't be
sign off.
stalkers.
Follow me in real life.
Yeah. There's somebody that says follow me here, but don't follow me in real life.
Yeah. His address is...
Yeah.
Just come to a show. We can hang out.
And keep it at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be friends,
Buy him some broccoli.
Yeah.
He needs it.
You can't have my broccoli.
Yeah. I'll bring some spare. Cool. Thanks heaps.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Sick.
Cheers.